going on the old road because I don't want to travel on the 180 because it's so noisy that I'd have to shout for you to hear me, which wouldn't be really good. I'm taking an important step of changing my life today, which I have to do. Just to fill you in on the details, just before Christmas I had a bit of a turn. I ended up being rushed to hospital and I had pneumonia with a chronic aspiration, I think they called it, of COPD, which is pulmonary disease, so a disease of the lungs, and I couldn't breathe basically, and spent 6 days in hospital, literally just before Christmas, on oxygen and nebulizer and intravenous drugs into my system as well. It was a horrible experience, and the first 2 days were a bit touch and go, and I honestly thought I was going to die. But fortunately I pulled through, and at the same time my dad was in hospital as well. He had vascular dementia and had taken a bit of a funny turn, so he was in hospital at the same time as well. I left hospital in time to be able to go see my granddaughter for Christmas, and she lives in North Yorkshire. And while I was at my granddaughter's, I had another turn and got rushed to hospital again and ended up in Scarborough, in hospital there for 2 days. I left with medication and a nebulizer, and both sets of doctors who I saw at both hospitals told me, Mr. Wally, you've got to stop smoking. You've got no choice. I've been smoking since I was 11 years old, and it's not a habit that I can kick easy. I've tried so many times. I've tried Champix, that didn't work. I've tried nicotine patches, I've tried vaping, everything I've tried, nothing's worked. And I have this, when I do stop smoking after a couple of weeks, I get this horrible devil voice in the back of my mind planning having a smoke, and I have this internal dialogue going on. It's horrible, of you shouldn't do it, but you're going to, and in the end I do, and I capitulate and I end up smoking again. But I've got numerous things going on. I've not only got COPD, I've also got type 2 diabetes, I've also got a herniated disc, I've also got a bit of a tricky valve in my heart, and I've got an irregular heartbeat, and I'm overweight. Not massively, but I am overweight. And I had a consultation in Hull recently with a surgeon about having an operation on my herniated disc, because it is extremely painful, and I can't walk more than 50 to 100 yards without being in pain, and I can't stand still on my feet, stood upright for very long either, without being in pain. So I had a chat with I had a consultation with this surgeon, and he basically said, we don't really want to operate on you because risk reward isn't great enough. The best thing you could do is to lose weight. So it's like, right, okay, so I have to lose weight and I have to stop smoking. There's really no choice. My dad sadly passed away in February, on February the 24th. He was 83 years old, and it was lung cancer that killed him. He had lung cancer in his 50s, and he had all the treatment, the chemo, etc, etc, and he went into remission and he was cleared. About 10 years ago he was given the all clear, but it came back, and it came back aggressively, and it just finished him off. and it was horrible losing him, because me and my dad were really close. I mean, really close. He lived with me for 6 years. Out of the last 8, he lived with me for 6 years, and I was his carer. But then he got too much. He needed too much care, and I had my job to do as well. And in the end, he ended up going somewhere where he could have like care all the time. But after being in hospital, he got put on palliative care, so he was put on end of life, and you know, he went in February. So at the moment, I'm driving to Town Hall in Grimsby to the NHS Stop Smoking Service, and I'm going to sit down with somebody and talk about what my options are, because I know I've got to quit. My granddaughter's begged me to quit smoking. She's only 6, bless her. Chokes me up thinking about it. And I want to see her grow up. You know, I want to watch her turn into an adult and a mother if she becomes a mother, or she wants to be a professional footballer at the moment, which would be great. Yeah. So I have to change my life. So I'm going to the Stop Smoking Service, and I've also telephoned the local gym today, and I'm going to go in and have an induction in the gym and start a training program, which I've got to be careful with because of my lungs and my back. But I'm gonna do some training and try and lose some weight that way. And I've also started this week changed my diet, so eating healthier foods, cutting out, you know, junk food and sweet stuff, and you know, just basically eating better. I've also got type 2 diabetes as well, which is not great. I only got diagnosed with that 2 years ago, and they put me on this medication called metformin, and I piled weight on. I absolutely piled it on, and I hate the way I look at the minute. Really got like bad body image issues, because I've never been fat in my life. I've always been quite a well-built guy. I'm not skinny. I'm quite chunky, but I was always chunky and muscly. But now I'm just chunky and fat, and it's not great. And when I look at myself in the mirror, it's yuck, basically. So, being 60 years old and being told that you've got these health problems, it's a bit of a wake-up call, really. And I need to take action. You know, I want to live till I'm in my 80s, not in my 60s. So I have to quit the fags, and I have to lose weight. And there's only one way of doing that, and that's by taking positive action. And that's what I'm going to do. I am quite a positive guy, actually. I'm not a pessimist, not by any means. I like to think that I'm solution focused. If ever there's a problem, my first thought isn't dwelling on the problem. It's like, right, how can we sort it? So the only way to sort it is to do the sensible thing and stop smoking, which will be massively beneficial for me and will help me in my weight training, and I won't be struggling for breath, hopefully, and definitely please my granddaughter. So that's what I'm going to go do today. So that's why I've come on the old road on Grimsby, so it's not noisy and I can actually talk in my own normal voice. Mr. Van go round. Plus I like this old road in Grimsby anyway. There's interesting places to see, and it makes a change from just boring down the A180 at 70 miles an hour. So that's today. If you want to leave a comment, can do. If you've got any tips, that'd be great. If you've been in a similar situation, and point me in the direction of what works and what doesn't, it'd be greatly appreciated. Traffic on the road today. Mind you, it's 4 o'clock, so school run and people who finish work early. Nice Maserati. I do like a Quattroporte. They are a gorgeous car. Hell of a soundtrack when you put your foot down as well. Wyber's Wood on the right and Willers on the left. Two quite contrasting housing estates. I know which one I'd sooner live on. Mind you, I wouldn't live in Grimsby. Grimsby's alright. But I could never live there. I like Immingham. It gets a bad rap, but it's a pretty nice place to live. What would be funny today is if I ended up on Rachel's dash cam if she's out doing a drive. That's Drive With Me 68. She's the lady that inspired me to start doing this, to be honest. She's lovely. Seems like a really cool woman. Some of the houses on this road are lovely. There's one coming up on the left. When we were kids, we always used to call it the witch's house, because it's all sort of like weird shapes and dark windows, and now it's pristine and clean and doesn't look like a witch's house at all. Well, that's what we used to call it. There's a troll. A few nights in there when I was a teenager. I've been in there for years. Usually when we were teenagers, we always come to town at least once a week and have a bit of a night out, hit a few pubs and then a nightclub, like Tiff's or Grinders or Gulliver's, was it? Gulliver's? Yeah, it was, yeah. Or sometimes we go to the pier in Cleethorpes and then try and get a taxi home. Mind you, getting a taxi now is in Immingham is a moot point. We hardly any, and they're so expensive as well. I think a taxi from Cleethorpes to Immingham's, I think it's 25 quid. It's like, what? But if you're stuck at 1 o'clock in the morning, you've got to pay it. Or you walk. Take about 2 days for me. But it's a gorgeous day today. I will say that. 14 degrees outside, it's sunny. Can't fault it really. I moved to Immingham when I was 6 years old, and up until then I actually lived around here. Up ahead is I forgot what it's called, Boulevard Avenue, and down Boulevard Avenue on the left is Macaulay Street, and I went to Macaulay Street Infants, and on the right, the first right, is Lancaster Avenue, and that's where I lived till I was 6 years old. And then we moved to Immingham into a brand new council house, and Lancaster Avenue had an outside toilet which was freezing in the winter. And then we moved to Immingham, we got this brand new council house, and it had a bathroom with a toilet and a downstairs toilet as well. 2 toilets. It was like, wow, felt all posh. Things were different back then. 134.9. God, Grimsby's so expensive. 129.9 in Immingham if you want to fill your tank. You mind yourself, love. Red light spells danger. It's going right, I'm going straight. So go down to these traffic lights at the bottom, hang a left. My brother had a friend who used to live in those flats dead opposite, and their family surname was Cox, and their best friends, believe it or not, was Mr. and Mrs. Fanny. Oh, it's funny, it's true as well though. And they used to go on holiday together, and everywhere they used to go, they used to book in as the Cox and the Fanny. Oh, it's so funny, but it's true. Can you imagine a hotel staff trying to keep a straight face when he stood talking to Mr. and Mrs. Cox and Mr. and Mrs. Fanny? Oh dear, oh dear. It's comedy gold. We'll do it right here. Let Barry Sheen go. Past St. James Church. Yeah. Let the lanky man cross the road. Yeah, I wouldn't, mate, if I were you. No, it's straight down. It is. There's an arresting site. Hopefully, there's a disabled parking spot. I can visualise my blue badge. So here we are at Town Hall Square. This is my destination. Permit holders only when barrier in operation. Handy, innit? If he pulled up 4 foot, I could stick it there. Okay, isn't it? There you go. It is good enough. And here we are. Destination arrived. So thanks for listening, folks. Please, if you can, hit a like, hit subscribe if you don't mind. It's helped my channel grow because I am quite new. Yeah, be good, be nice to each other, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.